We were very proud to present this night the second round of our series New York Loves Italy. It was about beauty, about art, about collectionism, and our honor guest was Ronald Lauder, a big personality of the world of art in New York, but everywhere, and he was in conversation with Xavier Salomon, our Italian citizen and friend, who is the curator at the chief curator of the Frick collection.
So what was the goal of tonight? What they shared with the audience?
Well, I think that the first goal is to open the doors of the Consulate General of Italy to all New Yorkers who love Italy, to all people here who love Italy or a lot. Of course, we can't hire the Yankee Stadium, so we chose to do this kind of meeting here in the meeting room of our consulate in the so-called Piazza Italia. And the goal is to have two personalities in conversation and to see how Italy, how Italian art, how Italian beauty has shaped so many personal and professional paths of the big personalities of New York, such as, for example, Ronald Lauder.
We had a special guest, the Ambassador Varricchio, tonight.
It was a very important sign of how much Italy loves New York. To have the ambassador from Washington DC here in a special visit, to be here in the front row of the room is a great sign of attention, and I think for us is very encouraging. It means that we can go on with this project, with trying to provide new and very fresh conferences, ideas to New Yorkers.
So when did you start to collect masterpieces?
I was starting when I was 13, 14 years old, and I haven't stopped. And I love art. It's part of my life. And art, for example, is a passion of mine. And it's almost like taking drugs or taking alcohol. When you start it, you keep going and going.
Which suggestion would you give to the new collectors that want to start to collect the artworks?
A new collector should look and read as much as they can and then find something that they really love and buy one piece and then live with that piece and see what they feel about it. Then buy a second piece. It's been always look and look and look, but do very slowly and find the things. If you want to start, I would not start with contemporary art. I would start with art that's older and then learn from it.
You ended the conversation with a beautiful thought about Italy, like our culture, in general about European art, but especially regarding Italy.
The real aspect is Italian art is special. It's filled with passion, it's filled with civilization and culture. All the art has it in Europe, but there's something very special about Italian art. You see it in the ancient times. I collect Roman art from the 1st century, time of Augustus, till today. And even though they're very different, it has that same quality, but more important, that same passion.
I'm the chief curator of the Frick collection, so I'm in charge of all the contents of the museum, really. So in terms of exhibitions, the collection, publications, the education programming, and it's great. It's a fantastic museum with great Italian works of art, and it's wonderful to be able to work for an institution that believes in scholarship and education and has a great mission for the city and for the public. The collection at the Frick is really based on around European art, so there's English, French, Italian, some Spanish. Those are the key countries represented at the Frick. We've always had a tradition of having exhibitions that combine these things and that we look at different artists at different points. So for example, we just had an exhibition on Italian art on the Cagnacci. We opened an exhibition on medals, which really includes medals from all over the world. So the medals were invented in Italy, but we have Scandinavian and Russian and Mexican ones. This summer we have an exhibition on Viennese porcelain and one on Rembrandt. But in the fall we'll have again an Italian exhibition with two Veroneses coming from Venice, and then a Canova exhibition next summer. At the same time we have Spanish exhibition, Murillo and Zurbarán. So it's really a pan-European museum, I think, and Italy obviously being one of the greatest art centers in the world, it's very well represented. So I grew up in Italy, I'm half English, half Italian, and I grew up in Rome. So I've lived there in New York for a long time now, for 7 years, but my heritage is Italian. I grew up in Italy. So after many years, I decided finally to take Italian citizenship. So I'm very happy to have done so. I think it's great to be in conversation with someone like Ronald Lauder, who has been a collector for more than 50 years. And he's someone who has assembled an incredible collection of works of art, but also worked for the city, for the country here in the States, building, founding a great museum, the Neue Gallery, and doing a lot for the cultural world of the city. I think quality is very important for art in any time, at any point. And if you collect anything, if you're an individual, but also if you're a museum, quality is very important. And so the quality of a great object that gets collected is always one of the top priorities, I think. I think Italy is producing great quality in terms of art, not just visual arts like paintings or sculpture, but also in architecture, in film, in fashion. I mean, it's great Italian exports that are famous all over the world.